Welcome to Ireland, more specifically Omey Island on the west coast. So we're here for a very short holiday. We arrived yesterday, which was Sunday, and we're here until Friday. The plan is evolving as we go, but last night we stayed in Galway, and you've already seen drone shots from Galway city, and we've driven along the wild Atlantic Way, and as it's low tide we drove across to Omey Island just for a quick look around basically, and it's absolutely stunning. It really is. The west coast of Ireland is beautiful. So let's see what happens over the next few days. We've got a few loose plans, but I won't say anything yet. So we're now in Northern Ireland. We left Sligo, Ross's Point this morning. You've just seen some drone footage, and we've come up to the very northern tip of Northern Ireland along this northern coast here, and we're at Dunlock Castle. You can't really see it in the background, but we're going to have a wander down. It's around about 500 plus years old, so it should be quite impressive. Welcome back to Northern Ireland. So we left the castle earlier on and we've come to the Giant's Causeway. We tried to park at the visitor centre. It wasn't happening, too busy. So we went back down to the nearby town and caught the park and ride bus, which in hindsight was probably the thing we should have done first, but we weren't to know. So we're walking across the top of the cliff now, and we're going to weave down and have a look. Looks like the Isle of Islay in Scotland in the distance. It's a beautiful day. That was the Giant's Chimney, the small chimney stack looking bit of rock jutting out at the top of the cliff there. But we're now going to head down to the causeway itself. So here we are, standing on the Giant's Causeway. We tried to go near the end, but the lifeguard blew the whistle at us, so we almost got to the end. She whistled. We were summoned back. Health and safety. You know when you see things in pictures, and then there's the whistle lady again. The whistle crew, Jay. When you see things in pictures, and then you come and actually visit them in person, sometimes they don't live up to the expectation, but this is actually quite impressive. There is a lot of people up here, but I did anticipate there being a lot of people. When we came to Ireland last year and went to the cliffs of Moher, it was absolutely packed. Very commercialised. This is as well. But if you want to come and see the stones, this is where you got to come, and that's it. There they are, whistles at the ready. It's really impressive what the power of nature can do. Or the power of giants, depending on what you want to believe. Go Amy, go. You can take the bus if you're not feeling so energetic, but it's a nice walk up the hill. The visitor centre's quite good as well. Lots of history about the area. And we're back in the car park now, after getting the park and ride back. I think that was a lot easier, to be honest, and it's about £1.50 each cheaper, which isn't the main thing, but it's just easier. And it is quite busy up there, so simple. Welcome back. So we've moved on from the Giant's Causeway, and we've now driven east along the coastline to the Carrick-A-Rede road bridge. So we just waited till we got a 4:30 till 5:30 ticket, and you're allowed through 15 minutes before. There was a massive squash at the gate, but we powered past, and we're now in the lead. Okay, so the walk from the ticket office is around about 1 kilometre, and the bridge has existed for around about 350 years. It's 30 metres above the sea. It was first put there by the salmon fishermen to catch the migration of the salmon, and obviously it must be a prime point just out there. But I'm quite looking forward to this.
Amy's nervous. I can't. Yes, you can. Fine, you got it. Oh, I can't do.
What do you think of that then, Amy? Good or not good?
It's good, but not for me.
She did well to say that she's scared of heights, but we would have forced her to do it anyway. It's not child abuse. So in the distance there is Rathlin Island, and then right in the background there is mainland Scotland. That's why we decided to run for it. The sea looks beautiful, lovely colour. Time to head back across now. I'm going to rush across and film Amy on the way, but it's a nice 30-metre drop down there. Lisa's bouncing the bridge. Okay, so we've left Carrick-A-Rede and we've come down to Dark Hedges, which is quite a famous little road here with some really amazing looking trees, and it was used in the, what was it used in? Game of Thrones, that was it. Right on the tip of my tongue. Let's go and have a look. It's quite busy at the moment, but we'll get down there. So we've just driven through. I'm going to wander back for a quick look now. So I think if you watch Game of Thrones or not, it's still an impressive line of trees. Right, we're heading to Newcastle now because tomorrow we're hoping to climb Slieve Donard, the highest peak in Northern Ireland. Let's do it. Welcome back. So we didn't go to Newcastle, we've gone to a place called Newton Abbey, which is just north of Belfast. We managed to find this amazing little Airbnb, relatively cheap as well, and I'll put some links in for the places that we've stayed, possibly do a blog post, but this is a real find. It's excellent. Bill, our host, mentioned about tomorrow being the 12th of July to steer clear of Belfast because it's the day when there's the marches and the bands and the parades and stuff like that, so it's going to be busy. It could be chaos. So we're driving through Belfast first thing in the morning on the motorway when we're heading to Newcastle, and we're going to climb Slieve Donard. But possibly Thursday we'll be in Belfast for some of the sites around there. So the accommodation we've got is like a converted garage, or like a little accommodation at the bottom of the garden, and Amy's there but she's not going to look. That's the fold out sofa bed, and the main bedroom, and there's a bathroom in there, but it's excellent. Welcome back to Northern Ireland, more specifically Newcastle, where the mountains of Mourne come down to the sea. So we're here to climb Slieve Donard, the highest point in Northern Ireland, 853 metres. If I've got that wrong, I'll put it on screen, but we're starting from sea level. We've just been to get essential supplies, and we're about to set off from, I believe, Donard car park. So we're making really good progress so far. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Nice little bit of cloud cover every now and then, so it's not too warm. I do wish I'd worn shorts, but at the moment, I do. But when we get to the top, I'm guessing it's going to be quite breezy, so I'll be thankful of the trousers. So we're doing really well now, and we're almost at the saddle. And then after that, it's just a matter of going straight up to the summit. But it's a beautiful track. Some amazing views back down to the sea and back down to Newcastle. We're not far from the top now. Sadly, the cloud has arrived, which has been a bonus actually, as we've been heading up this bit. This is probably the steepest section here as you follow the wall. We're topping out now, so won't be long until we're at the top. You good?
Yeah.
So we made it. That was a really enjoyable climb. Nothing too technical. It's quite a simple route actually. Straight up from the car park, out the forest, up to the saddle, along the wall to the top. But yeah, it's good to be here. Amy. I've even got my own chef. So we've had lunch, admiring the amazing view down into the bay there, and the midges have also had lunch as well. We were out of the breeze, which meant the midges were there, but we're heading up to the top again now because the sun has come out and the cloud has cleared. We spent about half an hour at the top. I'm very pleased that the cloud cleared. When Lisa and I climbed the highest peak in Ireland, Carrick-A-Rede Hill, it threw it down for the majority of the walk. Thankfully I had the GoPro with me as well, so we could do some footage with the waterproof camera, because the Canon wouldn't have been able to have handled it. But this was amazing. It's turned into a beautiful afternoon. This part of the forest, as we're getting down to the car park now, is quite busy. A lot of people out swimming in the river. It does look very inviting. We've made it back down to sea level. So the walk in total was 10 kilometres, and I'll add a link in the description to follow my route, or you can download the GPX file. But it was an amazing walk. So when we were having lunch at the top of Slieve Donard, I thought those beaches looked nice in the distance. So we basically drove up here and found the first one that looked nice. And I have no idea what it's called. I will put the name on the screen, but we noticed as we were driving along on the coastal road that there were some cars on the beach. And I thought, we'll get the car on the beach again. So we've made it to our latest B&B. We've come inland about 25 miles from the coast, and we're actually the first ones to stay here, and we're very impressed actually. It's beautiful. It's a converted loft of a barn, and yeah, it's looking good. I'll leave more info in the description about the places that we've stayed. From the bedroom window we can see Slieve Donard. Welcome back. So we had a really good night last night in the Airbnb. We've come into Belfast and we're at the Crumlin Road Jail. I'm going to go for a quick tour around. So that was excellent. We couldn't film in there, we were told not to film, but it's a really fascinating place with a lot of history, so I'd highly recommend coming. Off to the Titanic Museum now.
You could hear the noise from where we lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place.
Our roof was a fine place to work, and how were them curved.
There were two of us on the other side of the plate to hold her up and chase it out after work.
Almost a year of fitting out followed, transforming the massive hull into a sumptuously appointed liner described by the White Star Line as the Queen of the Ocean. The first passengers arrived on the boat train from London Waterloo. Bang on time and fully expecting to be in New York within a few days, the Titanic sounded her whistle and cast off her lines. Titanic sounded her whistle and cast off our lines.
By inches. There were a good many of them.
The CQD that was a Marconi manufactured one. It never had official recognition. Science.
I didn't look for the Titanic. I looked for the trail of debris that came off the ship as it fell to the bottom.
Port side of the bow. You can see those rusticles clearly now.
Looks like it might have fallen down the deck. You see that?
Yeah. Welcome back. So we've just been in the amazing Titanic exhibition. It's about 5 or 6 floors packed full of information and stories and interactive experiences. I was really impressed with it actually. It's a little pricey, but for what's in there, it's amazing. So we're now at the dock where the Titanic was constructed, in this space just here. And just behind me there, the Titanic Studios, where the Game of Thrones is filmed. But it was really worth coming. I think we've been inside there for about 4 hours, but it goes to show how much information there is. Very impressive, and we're now going to head around and go on a boat. So this is the SS Nomadic, and it was used as like a transport ship, and it transported passengers from Cherbourg to the Titanic as it was moored in the bay. And over the years it's been many a thing. It helped out in World War I and World War II, transporting troops and minesweeping and things like that. Then it was a restaurant in Paris, moored across from the Eiffel Tower, and then it was brought back here, sold again, brought back here to Belfast and restored to its former glory. But while we've been downstairs reading, the rain has arrived, so we're just going to get to see the outside of the ship, and then I think it'll be time to run back across to the car park. There's a lot of pride in this ship simply because it's perhaps the last existing link to the Titanic itself. It's a very impressively designed building, the museum. I wasn't here the last time I came to Belfast. I think I was last here in 2005, something like that. So we're going to beat the rain now and get back inside, head to the car park, and then who knows where next. We've got to make a plan. And that's it. We've just dropped the car off and we're back at Knock Airport. So we stayed last night in a small Airbnb at Enniskillen, and all we did this morning was basically come to the airport. So it's time to go home, sadly. If you've watched this far, thank you. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.